niggas out here speaking on the kept, swear it's hard to trust. While niggas out here fucking with these crackers, that's the funny side. Russia bro, bet all up and send you to the sunny side. He ain't really out here for the win, he do it for his pride. I peg it on the rail, yeah, we them angels, free the home team. Praying that he send them death angels, free the dome team. And if we catch you walking hand in hand like that dude Spark, you gon' be thrust through up in the end, cause we the new car.
Alright, what's going on, King? Alright, take care, Jason. What's going on? I can prove it didn't happen.
It didn't happen?
It didn't happen.
Well, there said it did, so it doesn't matter.
Huh?
It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, so what matters? But you believed it, right?
Do I believe that King Solomon and Sheba had a son?
Yeah.
Of course, it's historical knowledge.
I mean, you gotta prove it, though. I mean, like...
Why are you saying it then?
It don't matter.
It don't matter between us because you don't believe it.
I mean, because there's no historical evidence that he did. Where? I mean, you got a phone?
I studied books.
Okay, tell us.
We study too.
Because we
I
studied.
didn't say you didn't. But you studied that book. I study all books.
Okay, let's prove it. Let's prove it. Because I can prove it didn't happen.
How?
I can prove it didn't happen. We go to the source.
What does it say?
Let's go then. And you give me, you know what I need.
This is 1 Kings chapter 10. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon,
Queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon. Read.
concerning the name of the Lord, she came to prove him with hard questions.
She heard the wisdom that Solomon had. Let me go test his wisdom. Let me go see. Let me go check his temperature. Let me see if he's really wise like the world says he is. Read.
God. And she came to Jerusalem with a very great train, with camels that bear spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And Solomon told her all her questions.
He answered every single question. Read.
There was not anything hid from the king which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen all Solomon's wisdom, and the house that he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their apparel, and his cupbearers, and his ascent by which he went up unto the house of the Lord, there was no more spirit in her. And she said to the king, It was a true report that I had heard in mine own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit, I believed not the words until I came and my eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Thy wisdom and prosperity exceeded the fame which I heard. Happy are thy men, happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and that hear thy wisdom. Blessed be the Lord thy God, which dwelleth in thee, to set thee on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices very great store, and precious stones. There came no more such abundance of spices as these, which the queen of Sheba gave to Solomon. And the navy of Hiram that brought gold from Ophir brought in from Ophir great plenty of almug trees and precious stones. And the king made of the almug trees pillars for the house of the Lord, and for the king's houses, harps, and also and psalteries for singers. There came no such almug trees, nor were any seen unto this day. And King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, besides that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants.
Nowhere in the Bible says that they had a child.
You just stop there. That's the end of the story?
Yeah. No more Queen Sheba.
But it don't say they didn't.
You never said he did.
It just stops there. They don't. What happened after that?
She went back. She left.
And they had
She
no more
went back to the
contact?
nation. That's it.
Does it say they had no more contact?
That's it.
No, I'm saying that the Bible said that they have no more contact.
We're gonna show you. Go keyword Queen of Sheba. Let's see how many times she comes up in the Bible. You're gonna go in the Bible search engine.
Does it describe the marriage of Hagar and Abraham?
What's that?
Yeah.
Does it describe the marriage of
The
Hagar?
marriage? Oh, yeah. If you want to call it a marriage, she was just a concubine. That's all she was. That's all she was. She was a slave woman of Abraham's wife. Yes.
And then he married her.
His wife gave her slave woman to him because they wanted a child.
Show me that where it says this is a concubine.
Go ahead. It's a slave wife. It's a slave wife. That's what she is. She's a slave. She's a slave.
That's what they do to those people over there. What about his third wife? Did he marry her? Or
Abraham had a third wife? Well, he had a child. He had children with Keturah, like later on. I mean, you can say that. You can say that. You can say that. But check this out. But check this out. But Keturah, Keturah wasn't called the slave wife. I mean, she wasn't called the slave
why
woman.
would he have sex with the slave wife?
Because his wife couldn't have
She couldn't have a child.
But did God tell him to have sex with her to have a child?
No.
Okay,
That's
so
the
why would
point.
he have it? He just had it just to have sex?
No, because.
I wouldn't respect a man like that, especially not a man of divine.
Well, let's read. Let's just read. Let's read the account.
Come on, man.
Let's read the account.
She wasn't
Are you
a
Muslim?
slave wife. She was
Oh, are you
royalty
Muslim?
of Egypt.
Are you Muslim?
She was, I'm a historian. She was also a royalty of Kemet. She wasn't just some girl
Who
walking on
was?
the street.
Who was? Hagar? Hagar was royalty of Kemet? Royalty? Then why was she? If she was royal, why would she be with the nomad, our father Abraham? If she was royal, why would?
How did royalty end up in the United States? How did African royalty end up in the United States through slavery?
She wasn't even
There are royal princes from Africa that got on slave ships by force and ended up over here and becoming great people. How did that happen? By the will of the divine one. I don't want to answer why he does what he do.
No.
But you make an argument that he wasn't royalty through a historical account. It may not be in there, and I'll grant it.
Then
But
bring it
it's
out.
historical
How is he
account.
from Kemet? How is
There
he
is
from
more
Kemet?
detail in history about what goes on in the world in history books than there is in that book.
Then just bring it
That's
out.
just
This
Then
isn't
bring out the
Not to
bring out
make
the
it
history,
wrong or
bro.
right. I'm not saying your
Okay,
book
great,
is wrong or right,
great.
but there are volumes of books that expound on what
Great.
you are writing
So
about.
can I ask you something?
That's all I'm saying.
So where did you get this information that she was a royal line of Kemet?
I'll
Where'd
bring
you
it
get
to
it?
you when the next time you're gonna be here.
We're here every Saturday, but I'm just asking
I'll
you,
bring
like,
it back. I'll bring it back.
you should know this book out there and everything, bro.
What I should know is what I should know. It doesn't mean that you should tell me what I should know.
But
I
you're
read and
I mean,
understand
you're
for
quoting
purpose.
this.
I read and understand for purpose. I don't read to understand
That's
to convert
scholastically
nobody.
irresponsible. That's
No,
what that is.
I don't read to convert
That's
people.
scholastically
I read to make
irresponsible,
myself enlightened so that people can pull the wool over my eyes.
So
I don't read to try to make you believe like me. What that got to do with anything?
That's scholastically irresponsible.
if you
That's
believe
what.
in lies,
Whatever you want to say, but they put me in the prison at 17 years old. I read every book I could get my hands on,
Me too.
and I liberated
Me too.
myself.
Me too, brother.
I
Me
changed
too.
law from the
I
prison.
devoured so
I
many
changed
books.
laws from the prison. How many laws did you change?
Honestly, I didn't have to.
And then I
All
came
praise
out
to the
here,
Most High,
and
I
I'm
didn't have
still
to.
changing
All
laws.
praise I didn't have
So
to.
whatever my knowledge does for
So
me,
let me a-
it was divinely
So let
given.
me ask you.
And I do
I want to
divine
ask you a
work.
question.
I don't need to stand out
Case,
here.
case file. What is it? Which one?
And that's-
Please quote
and
it.
that's what I mean
Please
by
quote
the
it. Please quote the law that you changed. I want to look it up.
260 and 261 under Henry Palmer. That's me, William Palmer.
Palmer versus
That's your folks
Palmer,
that got out. Used to
Palmer
finish
versus
it.
California.
You
Look it
better
up.
believe it. That's
Look it
me.
up.
It'll come up it'll come up on Google. Check this side of my face too, because that's what I put on Google.
All praises,
Get a good
man.
picture of me.
All praises.
So I'm not here just blowing
Cool.
smoke.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
don't
That's
need to
cool.
convert people.
That's cool.
And I
That's
didn't
cool.
need to practice
No
what I
sweat.
practiced to get out of the
No sweat. No sweat.
Said
But
Hagar's
my thing is that you quoted something and you brought this information forward with no, but with no historical,
You don't have all the facts.
with no historical site. Like you didn't cite no historical.
I'm not trying to
But you
convert
can't. But that's. But is that irresponsible? Yes or no? That's scholastically irresponsible, brother.
To you. 'Cause you
Not
have
to
something
me.
do. You have something
You
to
called
do.
yourself
I
a
don't.
historian. Historians will never do that.
That's according to you.
A historian would never quote a
Where's your
source
references?
without
Where's your
citing
references
it,
in the
brother.
Bible? There's no reference in that Bible for anything that's in there, except you have to believe it comes from
Oh,
God.
is that right? Give me the
Come
state.
on, man.
Okay,
Ain't
give me
God-
the
God
Moabite
ain't in the
stone.
Bible talking about,
Bring
well,
up-
I got this from
Wait, no
Moses
sweat.
ain't say I got
Watch
this on
this.
this day, on this
Watch
day.
this.
Come on, man.
This is how I'm gonna cut you right now. Watch this.
Half the book ain't
Watch
even
this.
quoted by the real people. They
Watch
say-
this. Go to the Moabite stone.
Come on, man.
Give me the Moabite stone and give me the which stele.
Amharic is the original tongue.
The
that
Misha
Jesus
stele.
spoke, and not one word is in there.
Read.
Not one word from Yeshua
Look, this is
in
the
his
message.
language is in that book, but I'm supposed to believe
Right,
that
right,
translation.
Right. It's just a translation. Right.
And we
So,
already
and-
know that the translation of that Bible is so weak compared to the
Really?
original version of the Holy
So
Word.
you're a Greek scholar
The
now.
Holy War of the Holy
So you're a
Word
Greek
of
scholar
Hebrew
now.
and
Mr. Historian is a
That
Greek
book
scholar.
is a poor translation.
I know. Yup.
The Greek Septuagint.
So the Greek Septuagint was totally off,
When
right?
did God go to the Greeks?
He didn't go to the Greeks. So you don't know. You
When
didn't
did
know why.
God go to the Greeks?
Okay, never. But you know why?
Then why are you reading in their language?
Watch this.
Why wouldn't you read
Because
it in the language
the
of the people
Israelites were
that he
enslaved by
gave
the
it to?
Greeks and were forced to translate their holy scriptures
Why
to
would you
Greek.
read a language
That's
of-
why we get the Greek Septuagint, man. Right? Dave, hey, bro, you didn't know. You thought you had something there. The reason why the Greek Septuagint existed was because of the Israelites were enslaved by the Greeks and forced to translate the Hebrew text by the tip of the sword, bro. That's why the Greek Septuagint exists.
Looking up,
I'm looking up, I
Henry
got you.
Palmer. Did you look up Henry Palmer and see my face?
Yeah, that's cool. No sweat. That's not really important. Great. Hats off to you on that. But my thing is, you're irresponsible as a historian because you cited a source without without bringing the source out. You said something that happened in history.
I submit to that. Now
Great.
what? Now what
Great.
happened?
Great. Because why?
I did not feel
Because
earthquake.
it's
What
pseudo.
happened? What happened?
Because it's pseudo information. We don't do pseudo up here, bro.
What happened?
We don't do pseudo. That's why, bro. Because it's pseudo information.
I would
Because
respect you more. I would respect you more if you quoted the Bible in its original language and then interpreted that for me. I would respect every word that you said. But until you are able to read Hebrew, the divine Hebrew, or Amharic,
Hebrew, bro.
you ain't
You
talking
don't
about-
understand
you ain't
Hebrew.
talking about-
You don't
but a
understand
70%
Hebrew.
chance
You don't
of
understand
telling me
Hebrew,
what's
bro.
in there. This is
Because we can read the Hebrew. We can read the Hebrew. Why? No one here understands Hebrew to teach them in
It's
Hebrew.
divine. It has
Why?
effects. Every word that proceeds from your mouth has power that you don't even perceive. So read the divine word and let me be inspired by the divine one.
You can't even prove
What?
that Hagar is from Kemet.
You
That's
can't.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
You're talking about a language.
But look, listen.
You can't even prove
You
history.
know, but he submitted already onto that.
But if you
Why?
don't believe
Because
that,
it's pseudo.
that's up.
You can't pass off pseudo information and say it's there. It's there. We don't do pseudo, bro. Like
I didn't ask
honestly.
you to believe it. I didn't ask you to believe it. You don't have to accept it.
Oh.
I do.
Okay, you do. So you believe pseudo. Because that's pseudo information, man.
That's for you. My scholars got what they believe. They wrote it. Timbuktu has more books than this
They
book
got
can
burned
even
to the
contain.
And they got burnt to the ground. Where they at? Where they at?
They didn't all get burned, bro. I can go get the original manuscripts.
No,
I got
you
copies.
can't.
I got
What?
copies.
What?
I got copies of the original
What?
manuscript. Yeah.
Which ones?
My
Name
scholar,
one.
my
Name
scholar
one.
went
Name
to
one.
Timbuktu
Name one.
and translated
Name
it,
one.
and it's side by side.
Name
the
one.
original language
If you
and
could
the
go get-
translation
if you could go
that
get-
he translated.
Listen, if you could go get.
Not King James.
What's
Listen,
the scholar's
that's
name?
the
No. Don't look to the Bible.
Why
I'm
ask
asking
you,
you, if you said you could go to
and
Timbuktu
translated it.
and get a manuscript, name a manuscript from Timbuktu.
I bet
Because
you
I'm
can't
telling
do
you,
it.
they were all destroyed.
That's according to you.
No, he got burned to the ground.
My scholars.
The library in Timbuktu was burnt, brother.
So what happened to the books
Who's your
before they got
scholar?
burned?
No, who's your scholar?
Yeah, who's your scholar?
Hold on.
No, who's
What
your
happened?
scholar?
Can I say something? You
Who's your scholar,
guys
bro?
are divine. What
No,
happened to the
brother.
books before they got burned?
No, hold on. Who's your
Exactly.
scholar?
Somebody read them. Somebody copied
Oh.
them.
Somebody lied.
translated them.
Someone read them.
Somebody
Someone read them. So now you're saying,
You act like because it got burnt down, didn't nobody ever
Sir,
read them?
sir, how'd your scholar
That
get
don't
him?
even make any sense.
How'd your scholar get him?
But I guarantee you, all those books got burnt
he said
too.
his scholar gets
Huh?
it. Hey,
Did the
your
libraries
words-
got burned?
No, watch
King
this.
Solomon's temple?
Watch this.
Did it
Watch
get burned out?
this.
So you don't have
Watch
nothing.
this. Watch
you
this.
don't have nothing.
Watch this.
You
But
don't
we
have
find
nothing.
manuscripts in the ground all the time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You don't even own
What are
your
you
own
talking
property.
about?
Some white man in the Vatican owns all your property.
Where was the
original.
Dead Sea Scrolls discovered? Do you know?
even got it.
Do you know?
You
Do
don't
you
even
know?
got it.
You don't know.
You Hebrew, right?
You don't
You
know.
Israelite.
You don't know.
Show me your original manuscripts.
Dead Sea Scrolls. Isaiah, the great Isaiah
You
scroll.
showed me that you got action at it.
What?
I thought so.
We can pull up the manuscripts online. What are you talking about? We can pull up the manuscripts online. But you're saying that I can go right now and get a manuscript of the Timbuktu library when they were all destroyed. I ask you, name a manuscript. Name a manuscript from the Timbuktu library then, bro. Because you said you could go get one.
What?
They don't even have the original manuscript to the word that they call. How you know it's true?
Prove King James is white.
Yeah, prove King Jesus white.
No, first.
No, we need that.
Okay, I won't call him white because no white men
I need
existed
that
back
smoke. I
then.
need
No
that
white
smoke
people
right there.
existed. That's an American word. My bad. He was European. He was European.
Okay. Hey, was he? Hey, okay, great. Was he of a? Was he of a?
They had nationality.
Was he a black
Tribes and
monarch?
clans.
Was he a
They didn't
black
call
monarch?
themselves white.
Well, I'm here to tell you, King James was a black monarch. That's what I'm here to tell you.
Was he from Europe?
Yes, he was from Europe,
He was a
but he
European.
was black.
He was
But he had black lineage.
That happened
He had
all
black
over the world.
lineage.
That
Come on,
happened all
bro.
over the world.
Come on.
The original ruler
So-
of the Ming Dynasty was Mongolian and Sudanese.
Sure, that's
or
not
Nubian.
No,
That's not
that's
Europe.
not true. You can't talk to me about Mongol Empire. Not me. Not me, bro.
I did not say
Not
Mongolian
me.
Empire. You're not
No,
listening. Take
you
your
said
foot
the
off. I said
you said the original
original
empire of the
dynasty
Ming Empire were Mongol and what?
and Nubian.
That's not true. That's not true.
How
Not
much
the
you
Ming
wanna put on
Empire.
it?
You're a little
How
late.
much do you wanna
You're a
put
little
on
late
it?
there.
Do you
Get
wanna
up.
bet-
Bring up your phone. I need that.
No. How
You can't
much
talk
do
to me
you
about
wanna put
Mount
on
Davis.
it?
Come on, bro.
Put
'Cause
your
I-
soul
no,
on it.
put your
If you're
damn soul in
wrong,
prison,
you
bro.
come up out of there. If I'm
Hey,
right, if
honestly,
I'm
bro.
wrong, I'll come over there. If you're wrong, you gotta leave. You gotta put down the mic and let's
You
go
haven't
somewhere
proved
else.
nothing. You have still ain't proved nothing.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Tell me your scholar.
Put your soul
Tell me
where
your
your mouth
scholar.
is.
Who's your scholar, bro?
Can you tell me your
Who's
Yeah,
your scholar?
if I can prove it.
Who's your
If I can
scholar?
prove it.
Who's your scholar, man?
How many will give up
Who's
what they're
your
talking
scholar?
about?
Tell me your scholar.
Who's your scholar? Who's your scholar?
Tell me your scholar.
What difference does it make if
Brother,
it's
bro.
You said
I will.
You said he had 10
No, I will. Watch.
Tell me,
Okay.
tell me.
Before I do,
He's lying.
put something up.
He's lying.
Put something up, anything.
No, tell me your scholar.
Give me the mic for 5 minutes.
Tell
Let
me
talk
who.
on
No,
it.
what do you
If
been
I
fighting
win,
for? You've been lying
if I
this whole
win,
time.
give me the mic.
You've been lying this whole
You
time.
lie, bro.
It's the dread.
Hey, am I on Google? Did you look up Henry Palmer?
That's
you look
irrelevant.
That's
That's
irrelevant now. We're not tripping off that.
you said I've been
I
lying.
took my hats off to you to
you
that.
said I've been lying.
Look, I tipped my hat off to
that's
you
not-
already
that's
on
not-
that. I gave you up respect for that already. That's dope as hell. That's dope as hell. Case law under your name? That's dope, bro. Not everybody can do that. But you're academically irresponsible and trying to pass off pseudo information. That I can't respect, bro. That I can't respect, man.
That's arguable, but guess what? I tore down walls with mine.
Tell me your
With my knowledge, I tore down walls. Just show me one brick that you removed from anything.
Look,
Show me a brick.
We're putting our brick in. That's
right.
what we're doing.
That's right.
That's what we're doing.
Show me what you
According to the
built.
Bible, we're putting
With
our
your
brick
knowledge.
in. We're putting our brick in. We're not removing
Your
bricks, bro.
knowledge. Show me what
We're
you
not.
built.
We're not. Hey,
Show me what you built or destroyed. Show me the enemy you took down.
You ain't take down nobody.
how about you know?
ain't
Like
taking
you
down
ain't
nobody.
done none of that. They let you pass that law, bro.
You
They
have
let you.
divinity on
They
your
let
side.
you,
I'm just a
man.
little old black slave in America. I'm a nobody.
I thought you
have
said the words he
divinity.
speaks are divine.
You have
Did he say that
divinity on
earlier?
your side. You are chosen
I thought your
people.
words were divine earlier, sir.
Show me a
Guys,
system you
get
torn
some.
down or a kingdom you have
Can you
erected,
tell me your
and
scholar?
I'll be over there
I'm not
in an
letting you get away
instant.
with that. Tell me your scholar. Tell me your scholar. I know. He lied.
With divine
lied.
help,
That's pseudo,
He
bro.
lied.
you've done nothing.
Listen.
And
Tell me your
with
scholar,
me,
please,
myself,
before I
and
go.
nobody
Before you go.
that
Hey,
don't
Tell me
Mr.
your scholar.
Mr. Palmer, I'm gonna tell you straight up.
and
You're
liberated
Jew-
thousands.
No, you're pseudo, bro. You're pseudo, and we don't do pseudo information up here. You try to pass on pseudo information as facts, man.
Not one person,
And I can't
myself.
respect that,
Not
bro.
two bots.
I can't respect that.
I don't have
Now
one.
you, if you got case law here in
Not four,
California
not
under
five,
your
not
name,
10.
that's dope, bro. I already took my hat off to that. Because not everybody can do that. Because not everybody can do that. But that's dope. That's dope. That's great. That's great. That's great, man. That's great. That's great. But no problem. But don't believe your pseudo information, man. Don't believe your pseudo information. Right? And you pass on that pseudo information, and that's not respectable, man. Because listen. Listen. A gift destroys the heart, man. A gift destroys the heart. Get that out, man. Because the devil, because the devil can give you $1 and he's your brother. He's your brother. He's your brother. He's your brother. Right? But look, listen. But you're up here saying that you got access to a manuscript, an original manuscript of Timbuktu when they were all burned. That's foul and that's pseudo information, bro. I can't respect that. Read.
This is Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad,
Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. Read.
and a gift destroyeth the heart.
And a gift destroyeth the heart. That white devil gave you $1. Hey, that's my brother, bro. Yeah, that's my bro.
You can't buy Tic Tacs with that.
Relax, man. Relax, man.
You can't even pay for the meter
You
with
can't
that.
even pay a meter with that nowadays, bro.
Ask them to show the books
You
of
know?
Moses. Where they at?
The Book of Mormon.
Moses. Where the book of Abraham
The
at?
Torah.
Where is that?
It's in the Torah.
The original
It's in the
manuscript.
Torah. Well, I can name you a few one day. Aleppo manuscript. I can name you the Masoretic text. I can name you all of them, man. What are you talking about?
What is this,
What are
sir?
you talking
What
about?
is this? What language is this?
Did Moses write that?
That's a Masoretic text. What are you
Moses
talking
write
about?
it?
What's in Hebrew?
Come on, man.
Now name me.
Come on, man.
Okay, I named you. I
Come
named
on,
you
man.
Old Testament.
No, you didn't.
I named you manuscripts.
Original
Name me a
manuscript.
Sir, we
manuscript.
don't have the original manuscript.
We don't have autographs.
Why? What
We don't
happened?
have
They got
autographs
destroyed.
because they were destroyed.
That's not even how Israelites work.
What God would allow his words to be destroyed?
And that was
It's
destroyed.
not destroyed because we have manuscripts being found every day.
Ordinary man.
He thinks he got something, bro. No, but he's a historian. Remember, he's a historian.
What God is this?
But he's a historian, huh?
Don't go with him.
He's a historian, huh?
If he can't save
He's
himself,
a historian.
if he can't save himself, if he can't save himself. Oh my God.
Yeah. See? Hee hee ha ha, bro. That's all it is, bro. And my brother right here is so blind, bro. So blind. Bro, after these people had made y'all people caricatures of our ancient past and laughed and made us clowns, and you're still trying to have them hee hee ha ha at you. That's crazy, man.
I didn't do that.
That's crazy, man.
I didn't ask for this.
You entertained it.
I didn't ask for this.
You entertained it,
But
bro.
not one person is
You
dropping down on
entertained
you.
it. You entertained
You've been
it.
He
here
took
all
$1.
day.
That's first. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He gave $1.
We don't need that dollar.
He
Take
gave
it.
$1 too.
It means nothing. We don't give a fuck about that dollar.
You've been out here all day. I've been out here for 10 minutes.
I just know you've been lying. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
I just want to know your
Because-
scholar. Please, can you tell me you're a scholar?
Who's your scholar?
Can you tell us your scholar?
Who's your scholar?
Can you tell us your scholar?
Who's
Sir,
your
sir,
scholar?
sir, tell us your scholar, sir.
I already proved you're lying. I already proved
That's
you're
a
a liar,
serious
bro.
charge. Prove I'm lying.
I already proved you're a liar, bro.
What? Based on what and what?
Because you said you got access to an actual manuscript of Timbuktu when they were all destroyed. When they're all destroyed.
You're here every Saturday?
Every Saturday, man.
If I bring a copy of the manuscripts, I don't have the
I'm here
original in my
corrected,
hand.
man.
I have a copy.
I mean, what is the copy of them? Can you tell us what it is?
It's a copy of the original manuscript in Arabic.
Oh, boy.
What?
Of
Timbuktu?
the teachings of history.
No. Oh,
Of
wait.
African history. Of all the things
No.
that have happened.
You said
speak
Timbuktu.
Arabic.
You said Timbuktu. You said Timbuktu.
Their libraries, their schools in
They were
Timbuktu.
destroyed.
When?
They were destroyed.
When? Give me a date.
You know the destruction of Timbuktu out in the library? As a matter of fact, don't you have the book?
What?
From Babylon to
It's
Timbuktu?
at the house. I don't got it on me.
God damn.
It's at the house. I just looked it up though. It said
Timbuktu
2013.
still exists today. How can it be destroyed?
The what?
Sir, the library. What are you talking
The
about?
library was destroyed. The manuscript was destroyed. What?
They burned
Bring
down
it.
hundreds, millions of books.
In Timbuktu, 14 of the 16 mausoleums of the saints inscribed on UNESCO World Heritage List were completely destroyed. 3 mosques were severely damaged, and 4,203 manuscripts were burnt by the extremist groups who then occupied the city.
When was that?
It says,
was it?
let me read it.
When was it? Quote the date. Because if you're saying
Timbuktu
that nobody
manuscripts
had
is a
access
blanket
to
term.
Right here, Mr. Palmer, watch this.
Timbuktu manuscripts is a blanket term for the large number of historically significant manuscripts that have been preserved for centuries in private households in Timbuktu, a city in northern Mali. The collections include manuscripts about art, medicine, philosophy, and science, as well as copies of the Quran. The number of manuscripts in the collections have been estimated as high as 700,000. The manuscripts are written in Arabic and several African languages. In the Ajami script, this includes but not limited to Fula, Songhai, Chemeshek, Babara, Sonica. The dates of the manuscripts range from late 13th and early 20th centuries. Let's just see. Following the fall of Timbuktu and Northern Mali conflict, many of the manuscripts were reported destroyed in January 2013. So 10 years ago, pretty much.
You got access.
You mean to tell me?
You got access though. You said you have original manuscript.
I listen. Can I get a word without nobody interrupting? I won't take long. So before 10 years ago, nobody read them, nobody translated them, and nobody copied.
That's irrelevant. That's not what you said. You said you can go back and you got access to the original manuscript.
That's not what I said.
That's what
I
you
I have
said.
copies.
You said it on camera.
I said I have copies of it. My teacher had the original.
And that's exactly what that's exactly what
My
all manuscripts
teacher
are.
had access to the original, not me. I'm not a scholar. I can't translate. 10 years ago, he couldn't have read them before that.
No, how do you
read them.
He couldn't have copied it before that.
So he has a copy.
He couldn't have translated before 10 years ago.
He has a copy of a
Are
copy.
you talking about? My sheikh is over
Hold on.
60, 70 years old.
Listen to his question.
He's over 60, 70 years
Palmer,
old. He's never had
no
access.
sweat.
Sir,
We're not saying that. We're saying that you don't have access to an original
I
manuscript
never
like you
said
said.
that. I said copies. I said I can
And the
show
Bible's
you
a copy of
photocopy
manuscripts,
the original
period.
and his translation.
Great. Now, why you knocking the Bible that it's
Show me
copies
your
of
original.
original
Show me your
manuscripts
original
too?
manuscript.
Huh?
We don't have one.
Just
can't
like
tell
you
me.
don't.
Then
Just
can't-
like you don't.
You can't tell
Just
me
like
that
you
it's
don't,
real.
bro.
You can't tell me.
Just
you
like you
believe
don't.
it, and I have no doubt you believe it. And I'm not saying it's true or false. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, if
believe in
you don't have the original, all you can
Yeah.
do
You're a
is
historian.
believe that it is.
Right. You're a historian.
good.
Palmer. You're a historian, right? You said
I'm
you're a
not
historian.
knocking your belief.
No.
I
Okay,
think you
we're
guys are
past that.
wonderful.
We're past
I think
that.
you guys are
Great.
wonderful.
We're past that, Palmer. Now I'm
You
asking you
guys
a
think
question.
Kyrie Irving-
Why are you scared of the question, bro? I'm asking you a question. We're past that.
Oh,
We're past that. We're past that. Now I'm asking you a question now, man. Right? You said something about manuscripts, right? This is what we have. We have copies of ancient manuscripts. Right? You're not going to Bible like that. Because we got the same thing here, the same position you are.
Ask me a question, can I answer it? You
What's
asked
the
me a
answer?
question, right?
What's the answer?
Can you rephrase the question? I forgot how you kept on going on.
Great.
What is your
Because
question?
you're saying that you got access of a copy of a manuscript of Timbuktu, of one of the manuscripts, right? That's exactly what we have.
So, let me give a clarifying question. I know that the original manuscript that he has is of true original manuscript.
Okay. How?
Can I finish?
Okay,
Is there
go
any way that I can finish my question?
Go
Because
ahead.
how doesn't even matter.
Go ahead.
Even if it's true or if it's not.
It kind of
But
does.
then-
It does matter.
Hold on.
It does matter.
If it's true or not, you don't know because I cannot prove it to you right now. So that's what I mean. It doesn't matter. That question doesn't matter because I can't show you right now. I said that.
Great.
But let's just say it's true. Let's just pretend. It don't have to be. But let's pretend that the original manuscript is in the hands of the sheikh, right? The man who
He
read
doesn't
it.
have original.
Damn, man, I'm cool.
Copy,
you,
right?
you don't know how to be fair. I asked
No,
for time
you're
to
not
speak.
fair, bro.
I listened to you. And I asked you even to clarify it.
Great.
And I said and listened to you because I have respect for you.
Now
And
answer,
you
bro.
have no respect for
Now
me.
answer, bro.
And when a
Answer.
man
I
doesn't have respect
I
for
already
me,
told
I
you.
don't
I
need to
gave
change
you
it
your
no more.
respect. I gave you your respect for
But you
changing laws
continue
in
to
California.
disrespect me in
That's
other
dope,
ways.
man. That's
I
dope.
said and I listened because I have
That's dope.
respect for you and your crew.
Oh, now you're sitting. Now you're sitting and listening.
Just because I don't agree with some things doesn't mean I don't have respect for you. Those are
You
two
were cutting
different
this
things.
out the whole time too. Weren't you? Weren't you?
My
Palmer,
bro,
weren't you?
Have you ever
Let's
asked,
be honest,
have you
bro.
ever asked me to be quiet and I didn't?
But why did I have to go?
It doesn't matter. I asked you, I'll listen to you, and then I'll...
Just go, bro, just go.
Hey,
You don't know
as
how
my
to do
brother,
that.
I apologize.
You
Now
don't know how
please
to do
answer.
that.
Now please answer. I apologize. How's that, bro? If I vexed you in any way, I apologize.
I appreciate that, and I accept your apology.
Okay.
So the question is, let's just pretend for the sake of argument that he had an original manuscript. He made a photocopy of it, and then he translated word for word and gave it to his students. All I'm saying is that's why I read it and believe it. It don't matter if it's true or not at the end of the day. It matters if it's true or not to me. It matters if it helps me in my life. That's all I'm saying. For you, I think, and I would have more respect if you had an original manuscript and a copy, a photocopy of it with a translation from your people, not from somebody else, and I would be like, okay, whether it's true or not, I respect it, and I'll say, okay, let's go with that. But you don't have that.
But we do. But we do.
You have some people that got together hundreds of years later and sat down and said, I think this is what it said.
No.
And hopefully God directed them.
No.
I'm not saying they didn't. But you waited long after they were destroyed and brought some scholars together, because they could have had it on memory. A lot of people memorize stuff, and they wrote it out again. That's not original from the prophet. That is the original from scribes who got together later and did it.
Everybody has scribes.
Ain't nobody got an original manuscript from Abraham. Ain't nobody got an original script from Moses. And ain't nobody got an original script from Jesus.
Okay, but watch
Everything
this.
that you read is hundreds of years later said, according to
Great.
somebody, this is what this said.
Now, Palmer, now watch this. Just in case if you didn't know about the history, did you know that there was whole scribe schools? Whole scribe schools. Hold on, Palmer. Look, hold on. That one scribe school would dedicate themselves to copy, word for word, letter for letter, to say the book of Ezekiel. One school dedicate themselves to copy, letter for letter, word for word, the book of Isaiah. And guess what? When they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found the whole book of Isaiah. Right? Now, when you're dealing with ancient languages and learning ancient languages, you get to really faithfully translate that language into modern languages. That's what happened. How is that far-fetched, man?
I'm not disputing.
And that happened because,
I'll wait till you're done.
check this out, because you're saying that he photocopied it. You're saying your sheikh photocopied it, right? They really don't let that happen in academia. They don't.
You're only assuming that.
They don't.
You're only assuming
Because
you don't know who this person is and what he has access to. I'm just
Listen,
being real. You don't.
listen.
So you can't make that
I mean,
statement.
they really don't.
You can make it, but it
We're
don't mean
going off what
anything.
you said.
Your word doesn't
You
have
said- you said
your
you was
word ain't worth 2 cents because you don't know
Photocopy.
nothing.
You know what photocopy is? You know what photocopy is? You put it through a Xerox machine. That fucks manuscripts up,
That's
bro.
not true. You don't have
Yes,
to
it
do that.
does.
They have big ass
Yes, it
machines. They have
does.
big ass machines they put over and go, Chijum.
They can take pictures, but they have to be careful with the flashes because light
Chijum.
fucks up papyruses, bro.
Chijum.
When they handle it, they have to wear cotton gloves. That's how delicate ancient manuscripts are, man. What are you talking about, bro?
Bro, I have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, Moses, Jesus,
Yep.
anybody else, if you don't have the original word of God that was spoken from God's mouth to their ears, you don't have an original copy of the word of God.
Who says that this is not the original one?
You did. You said the scribes, they did it. They came back and did it. That's what you said.
That's what we did in our history.
That's what you said.
did, though.
Copies.
Copies of copies of copies.
You don't even know how papyruses work.
You know how when you
How they
copy
fade,
and
how
copy
they-
and
how they
copy, by
break.
the time you get to the end, you can't even read
No. That's
How
word of
they
mouth.
disintegrate.
That's word of mouth.
That's even copy and copy.
No, it's not. The reason why they dedicate themselves to copies, why? Because he used to write on vellum or lambskins and papyruses. Those disintegrate and they get destroyed with time. So therefore, they have to copy word for word, letter for letter. And guess what? And if one letter's off, that's annulled. That whole scroll's annulled. They had to be very, very careful. And you know what's the proof? When they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, it lined up perfect with the Aleppo script. See, I'm talking. I'm talking names of manuscripts. Now, you know what I'm saying?
One book out of all those books.
No, not one book.
The whole Dead Sea
Manuscripts.
Cover the entire Bible.
Not the
But
whole entire
manuscripts
Bible.
are written hundreds of years earlier.
Did they cover the entire Bible?
No,
Sir,
because
you don't get it.
there's different manuscripts that were found that were of other parts of the Bible. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like which ones?
Let's say Daniel. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to even guess. Let's just look up what was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. From the Masada, read.
What book was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls?
So this is from the book, The Zealots of Masada, right? It says, now to the Masada scrolls themselves, most of them were biblical. In addition to parts of Deuteronomy and Ezekiel found in the synagogue, there were 2 containing several chapters of Leviticus and 2 with chapters of the book of Psalms. Their texts are almost identical with the Hebrew biblical text in use today. The differences are very minor. The Psalms of David, as recited in today's synagogues, are the same as those uttered by the zealots in their synagogue, the same Hebrew words, the same sentence structure, the same beginning and end of each chapter.
Hey, that's just, hey, Bummer. Listen, that's just one finding. Now let's go to the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh my
let's
God.
see the differences.
Testifying against your own self.
Hold on. No,
It's
it's not.
different. It's different.
Hold on, Bummer.
It's very much
Are we
alike.
interrupting each other again?
But
Are
it's a
we
little bit
interrupting
different.
each other again?
I didn't get a chance to talk.
No, hold on.
You just spoke
Are
your
we
thing.
interrupting each
So
other
you back
again?
there laughing.
You just
Yeah,
spoke it.
exactly. Like how respectful was that? I thought we were being respectful.
But
again.
you just said your piece. I can't
No,
respond to
we're
it.
not done with our point, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying that's just one finding. The Dead Sea Scroll. I mean, because we're talking about something deep, man. I'm naming manuscripts. You have yet to name one by name, bro.
You're better than me. That's fair. You're better than me.
I'm just saying. And I ain't shit. And I'm not shit.
The more you
Yeah, I'm not
it doesn't
shit.
make you better.
It's all the
more
Most
better.
High. It's all about the Most High. The Most High
You're better
chose
than
me, man.
Okay, you're
Like
better than me.
the Most High can kill me right now, raise up a man right behind me, man.
Yeah, you're better than me.
God damn all that. I
Okay,
ain't
you're
shit.
better than me.
I'm filthy rags, man. According to in the eyes of my Lord, man. I'm not shit, man. The Most High can kill me and raise up a man right after me, man. Read.
So this may not seem odd to us now because we live in a world of books and printing, but there was no printing in those days. Everything was copied with all the possibilities for mistakes that hand copying entails. Moreover, in those days too, there was no punctuation to biblical text, no commas, no periods to denote the end of a sentence, no capital letters. This is true in modern Hebrew too, to indicate the beginning of a sentence, and written Hebrew has no vowels. The Hebrew punctuation and vowel system was introduced only in the 8th century AD.
So this is just the Masada. Now the Dead Sea Scrolls, when they line them up side by side with the Aleppo script that was written later on, it was there, right there, hand in hand, bro. Like nothing, like nothing. No. That was just the Masada scrolls.
It was a little different.
No. That's just the Masada scrolls.
But there was differences.
Listen, that's just one finding. Now I'm talking about a different finding with the Dead Sea Scrolls. You line it up with the Aleppo script, with the Aleppo manuscript, it's exactly the same, man.
No differences.
No differences.
Not one vowel,
Not differences. Not with that. Not with that one.
There are no vowels.
There's no vowels. There's no vowels. There was no vowels. There's no differences there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now, if you line up with the Stalingrad manuscript, like with the Great Isaiah Scroll, this is what was so profound when we found the Dead Sea Scrolls, man. That was it.
Damn, it's filming me while I'm
That
here.
was it, man. That was it.
Don't be putting
So
that on YouTube, man.
there we are. We are.
I got this all over my face. You gonna put this
And I
on
hope your
YouTube?
shake. I hope your
You gonna
shake
put this all on
sees
YouTube?
this. And I wish your shake was up here because I got some questions about the Quran, man. I'll blow holes in the Quran, bro. That's right. I'll blow holes in the Quran, bro. I blow holes in the Quran, bro.
I said we street teaching and doing music to educate. All praise, I had this gift in 2nd grade where I stay. They upgraded the murder from catching fades. Let's just say you niggas is weaker in 7 days. Cause how a nation come kidnap you and make you slaves. Then separate the children and parents, change their names. No Damon Wayne's for generations was major pain. And we kill each other, but when it's done, we don't say a thing. You niggas tripping. Well, in other words, y'all niggas Christian. Worship white Jesus when scriptures give his description. And shout out to my kindred that's really living what's written, keeping laws that was given instead of willfully sinning. I love saying Christ coming back, cause it's with vengeance. All we gotta do is endure like it's an entrance. Rehearse the righteous acts, so spiritually it's a scrimmage. And that real game start when the missiles pass the defenses. Let's get it, I'm chilling. It's scary but it's thrilling. Never trust the opposition, they come near me then I'm peeling. Like aren't you glad we no longer killing and drug dealing, but instead we out here healing. No more filling up them prisons, we almost at the ending. And now I don't care who like me. It's sore strokes for them folks, cause they scared to fight me. And you in sin, cause you clutching on that hand tightly. Calling on the Lord, you get ignored like scam life.